Lucha Libre comics are not a modern phenomenon. Luchadores like El Santo, Blue Demon, and Huracan Ramirez, along with countless others, have been featured in the pages of their very own comic books. And most often, these books are reinforcing the idea that these are real-life superheroes, made of flesh and bone. And these luchadores often find themselves in situations just outside the realm of possibility, fighting a variety of monsters, creatures, criminal organizations, and other fantastical beings. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the first few issues of a comic featuring one of my favorite luchadores ever, Mystico. The Mystico comic was titled Mistico, El Principe de Plata y Oro, and ran for 72 issues from November 6, 2006 to March 17, 2008. It had some incredibly illustrated covers, and the back cover would often feature a different photo of Mystico in real life. In today's video, we're going to go through the first arc of the series, which happens to run through the first 3 issues. Our story opens up in Arena Coliseo, in the beginning of a match between Mystico and a Rudo Atlantis. Mystico takes the lead early, delivering a big kick to Atlantis' head and knocking him down. "You're beaten, Atlantis," says Mystico. The referee steps between them, contemplating whether to end the fall here. Mystico then turns his back and starts celebrating way too early. The crowd chants, "Mystico, Mystico, Mystico." As he bathes in their chants, Atlantis recovers and makes his move. "He who laughs last, laughs best," he says, before bringing down a huge elbow to the back of Mystico's skull. The blow is so powerful, it makes Mystico flash back to his childhood as an orphan under the care of Fray Tormenta. Mystico is being beaten up by a group of boys until Fray Tormenta steps in. In the midst of Father Tormenta's chastising the children, it comes out that Mystico is the one who provoked them for the reason of wanting to be a luchador like his caretaker. Tormenta tries to dissuade Mystico from this path, but Mystico is determined and says what he lacks in size, he has in heart. Fray Tormenta then offers Mystico a deal. If Mystico can get his education first, Fray Tormenta will train him. The flashback ends with Mystico saying he will never give up. Mystico then regains consciousness in the present and is quickly put in a Dragon Sleeper Cavernaria submission. If there's a proper name for this submission, I don't think I know it. The hold is not enough for Mystico to give up, and he is able to escape and gain the upper hand with a submission of his own. He forces Atlantis to submit with this shoulder lock and takes the first fall. Mystico lets Atlantis know he is a powerful opponent, but he does not fear him, and Atlantis responds in a peculiar way. "Enjoy your small victory, celebrate while you can, because when I'm done with you, you'll never step in a ring again." Mystico thinks Atlantis is being an extremely sore loser, and admonishes him for speaking that way. They go on with Atlantis seemingly getting angrier and angrier until he finally yells, "I'm a killer beast! I'm gonna kill you!" He then lunges at Mystico, and here's the moment that Mystico realizes, this guy isn't even Atlantis. Mystico dodges and says, "I know who you are. You're a crazy murderer who thinks himself a luchador." The crazed man rips his own mask clean in half and reintroduces himself as La Bestia Asesina, the killer beast, the greatest luchador in history. Mystico tells him, "You're not even a luchador. You've never stepped in a ring." Bestia then blames Mystico as he put Bestia in an asylum. Mystico responds that this man killed 3 luchadores before Mystico stopped him. "I beat them. They didn't deserve to live," the enraged maniac screams. He then pulls out a knife, and Mystico asks, "What did you do with Atlantis, you damned maniac?" "Right now, he's arriving where I'm about to send you," the crazed man exclaims as he leaps towards Mystico with a knife, and the chapter ends. Chapter 2 starts where we left off, with Mystico jumping, ducking, and dodging the knife attack, but eventually getting nicked by the assailant's blade. La Bestia Asesina licks Mystico's blood off the blade and says,
Delicious blood of a victim. Your time is up, Mystico. This is the hour in which you die.
We swap scenes and are now inside an apartment. Atlantis is waking up and he's strapped to a chair and very confused. There's a bald young man speaking to his own reflection in a mirror, trying to stop himself from shooting the captive Atlantis in the head. It is quickly revealed this young man is off his meds, and thus is struggling with the voices in his head. As he finally musters up the courage to do it, Atlantis speaks to him, telling the young man to get closer as he might miss from that range. As the bald ruffian is about to pull the trigger, Atlantis makes his move, sweeping the baldy's leg and causing him to drop the gun. We see the bald lunge towards the weapon, and then a bang. We're back in Arena Coliseo, and Mystico is on the top turnbuckle. La Bestia Asesina is waiting for Mystico to jump down on him, certain that his blade will pierce Mystico's heart if he chooses to attack. Mystico jumps, and in one fluid motion disarms this maniac and locks in a deep cavernaria. La Bestia Asesina then reveals Atlantis may yet still be alive, and his location is in Mystico's apartment. Mystico leaps out of the ring and is met by Deborah, one of the edecanes at Arena Coliseo. He tasks her with two jobs. First, tell security to detain the beaten man in the ring. He's a depraved criminal. Second, call the police and tell them to go to my house. Mystico rushes to his sweet Kawasaki Ninja motorcycle and hightails it home, cutting through the Ciudad de Mexico traffic. When he finally makes it upstairs, he is met with a grim sight. Atlantis is crumpled over, leaning against the wall with 2 bullet wounds. As he looks over Atlantis, the police arrive and draw a terrible conclusion. It must be Mystico who has shot Atlantis. The police draw their weapons, and it looks like our hero may be headed to prison as this issue ends. The third issue opens with a couple of kids investigating some noises coming from their hangout spot in the sewers. It's the bald assailant who shot Atlantis. He confesses to the boys that he shot Atlantis, but the boys don't seem to believe him. We go back to the scene of the crime with Mystico and the cops in a standoff trying to defuse the situation. Mystico is trying to explain that he just arrived, but the cops have already decided he is guilty. Atlantis then regains consciousness, if only for a moment, and charges Mystico with the task of stopping the bald lunatic. Mystico tries to get the cops to let him go, but they are incredibly stubborn. "It looks like you won't be reasonable about this, my friends," says Mystico, before neutralizing both officers as a threat and making his escape down the stairwell. Mystico reaches the outside of the building, and this game of hide and seek has begun. The culprit is actually just under Mystico's feet. Literally, only a sewer grate separates the two. The crazed bald man can see Mystico and declares him the Antichrist, the reason that Atlantis had to be sacrificed. The children start getting freaked out as the dual personalities of the bald man start clashing here. The children's screams alert Mystico to a commotion happening just under his feet, and he heads underground. He first encounters one of the boys as they are running away from the situation. "My friends are in danger," he tells Mystico. "You have to save them from that maniac." Mystico tells the boy to head out and call the police while he deals with the situation, and Mystico heads deeper into the sewers. He finds both of the remaining children tied up, but it's an ambush. The crazed bald leaps from the shadows, 2 blades in his hands. "Die, spawn of Satan!" he screams, but Mystico catches him in midair. He launches the assailant into the wall. "My life is in the hands of God, not yours, madman." The crazed bald responds, "You are the Antichrist, and I should end you. My soul can only rest when you are dead." The police arrive just in time, and the bald man is taken away, but not before telling Mystico that they will see each other again. We flash forward a few days later at the hospital, where Atlantis is recovering. Mystico has come to visit, but more importantly, he has brought Atlantis' young fans to see him. Atlantis thanks Mystico for bringing them, and the issue ends with Mystico departing on his sweet Kawasaki Ninja. And that's it for the first arc. The titles translated for each chapter are as follows: The Adventure Begins, Between Good and Evil, and Terror in the Sewers. Overall, I thought this was a pretty cool start to this series. I've never read it before. I've read the first few issues, but I've not gone all the way through this series. But I will say I've seen the covers for some of the later issues, and I am really stoked to read them. I don't have a way to read issues 11 through 20. They are missing from the source I use to read these comics. But if you have these issues and you want to share them for a video, please feel free. Otherwise, we may just skip them or find a plot synopsis for those 10 issues. And if you're interested in seeing more videos like this on Lucha Libre comics, just let me know. I'm doing this video sort of like a fun break between more serious videos. Those videos are still coming on actual matches, feuds, championship wins, things like that, history videos as well. Anyways, thank you again so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you later.